Hi everyone. Today's Q&A, I'm going to do a walkthrough of Carb Manager because it's a thing that we do get quite a few questions about. And what I've done, I've set it up on the computer so I can record the screen and do this video for you. For most people, you'll be using it on your telephone or on your smartphone, so it will look slightly different, but it's pretty much the same. And the only major difference between this and the phone is that on the phone you have a barcode scan, which is not available on the computer one. So that's probably the only major difference I could find. So what I've done, I've set it up with a part of a day. So we'll just go to today, and here's the information I've entered in so far. And what you'll see on the screen at the top left-hand side here, we've got this little scorecard, which is really handy because what it tells you is how you're tracking with your fat, your protein in blue, and your carbs in green to your day. And on the right-hand side, it shows you, here we go, I've got 15 of my 21 net grams of carbs that I've used, 114 grams of my 130 grams of fat, and 61 grams of my 104 grams of protein, shall I say. I can quickly click on it, and it will show me what I've got left as well. I'm not sure it does that on the phone, to be honest, but anyway, it's quite a handy little guide there. And basically what I've done is assembled just a few foods. These are just things I put in randomly. But on the scorecard here, it'll show you how many net grams of carbs, how much fat, etc. So you can quickly get an assessment of your day. And when you're deciding what you're going to eat next, you can instantly see how much have I got left in terms of carbs, fat, and protein. So, a key thing is that when you're eating, just because a food is keto friendly does not necessarily mean that it's going to fit into your day and your scorecard. So you're really just looking for things that will still fit within the criteria and keep you within your macros, if that makes sense. So what we'll do, let's just add something to our day. So we'll go to our foods, and what I'm going to do is say, okay, I'm going to add, just go back. Sorry about that for a second. Let's go back to my daily log, and we'll say we'll add some food here. And what we'll do is say, what are we going to add? Let's just add some turkey pepperoni. Okay. When I select the turkey pepperoni, what it does, it shows me the carbs, the fat, and the protein for that food. So you can see there's actually 0 grams of carb, which is great. And it shows me what it actually is individually. Now what I do then is I say, well, I want maybe 2 ounces. And this is a really important bit to make sure you get your serve right. So you can do that as a cup or a bowl or whatever happens to be. Obviously that will vary a little bit by what it is that you're putting in as your ingredients. And you can say where you want it. So in here, I'm going to say I'm going to put it as a snack. And I've decided I'm going to do it. So I click here and it applies it to my day. So what I'll do, I'll just go down, and you can see there I've added a snack of turkey pepperoni, and it shows the effect and what it shows on my day there. So that's really all it is when it comes to adding a food to it. And so you just keep on doing that until you get within your levels. Now, a key thing here is that you really, when you're looking at your different levels, the key thing to make sure is that if at all possible you hit your carbs and stay under the maximum carb limit. That's really going to be the main driver as to whether you have success with keto. Your fat, again, you should aim for that. But if you're a little bit under, or even a little bit over for that matter, it's not the end of the world. The main thing is that you stay on your carb limit. With the protein, you really want to keep your protein under your fat and by about 20 grams. So if you have your protein, which is more than your fat, what you may experience is that the excess protein will turn to glucose, and it may spike your insulin levels. So just be careful with getting your protein above your fat. It is quite a popular thing in most people's diet, or in a lot of people's diet, should I say, where they're trying to get a lot of protein in because protein's a product and can be well marketed. So it's really popular to have a high protein input. It's become very much a marketing spin. But obviously it's an very important part of your diet. But in keto, the main thing is that you keep your fat above your protein, and by about 20 grams. That's really the ideal day. So if you're looking at this chart, at the moment I'm still on track. I've got a little bit left of my carbs, I've got a little bit left of my fat, and I've got a bit of protein. So when I go to add something extra, I know what it has to fit within those criteria to keep me within my daily limits. So hopefully that all makes sense. The next thing, and this is the thing I really like about Carb Manager, is I can actually create a recipe. So what I did here, I created this one called coconut porridge, because that's what I have most mornings. Here's my daily readings from it. And also it shows me how many servings it yields, what are the ingredients, and so that really makes it easy, because when I add that to my daily recipe or to my daily meal plan, I don't have to worry about putting all of these ingredients in individually. I just put it in once, and that saves me a ton of time. The other thing with that is I can create a new one at any time. So with this, all I do is I go to my foods, I go to my recipes, and I can create a new recipe. So let's say we call this one broccoli soup, perhaps, and we'll say it makes 2 servings, and each serving is 100, or let's say 250, 300 grams, something like that. My preparation time, we'll leave those as is, but we can add that in there. I can add a little icon to make it easier to find, because once you've got a lot of stuff in there, it can make it easy to find. So we'll just do a bowl, hide the icons again. I can put a photograph in if I want to. So if it's something that I have already got a photograph of. And then what we'll do is we'll put in the ingredients. You can make them into folders and things like that, so you have a dinner folder or whatever. That's really up to you. Here, all I do with my ingredients is we'll say, okay, let's just find broccoli. Okay, I just use raw. And we'll say, we'll add that to it. I won't go through the detail of setting up all of the amounts, etc., because I'm sure you get the idea. And then what we'll do is some cream, heavy cream. Excuse my typing. Heavy cream. That's grade A as well. You can see here it's given it a score. It's telling you how much it is. And we'll say we'll put in 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons. And we'll say that's good as well. And you can see it's just doing that, creating a thing. A list of all the different foods we got there. And then all I do is do save, and broccoli soup is a menu item. So if I go back to my daily log, I can add here, I'll do broccoli soup as my search. Broccoli soup, we'll add that to today, and here we go. It's added to my lunch. All right. So really very quick and easy. The other thing I really like about Carb Manager is the ability to scan the barcode. And that gives you a reading of the food. So it does the breakdown that you see here. It will do that for you, tell you whether it's keto grade A, B, C, D, etc. So it's a really good way when you're shopping or when you're going through your cupboard to find out what is good and what's not for your day. And so, I hope you find that helpful. It's a really good tool. It really helps you keep a score. And as I said, the question we see a lot is this something I should be eating or not? Oftentimes the question is this going to fit into my day, not whether it fits into your keto lifestyle so much. Obviously, you want to be avoiding the wheats and all those other things that are not necessarily keto friendly. But this is a really good way of keeping on track. And if you keep to those 21 net carbs, in my case, might be 17 for you, it might be a little bit more. But if you can keep to your carbs and keep your fat and protein under control, that is a really, you're on a really good path to being successful with keto. So I hope you find that helpful, and we'll talk to you later.